guys, it's Jen and I'm back with another process video using my Felicity Jane kits. I'm using the August Here's the Scoop kit, and I just showed you the photo that I'm going to use, and I am going to use my favorite paper. Well, I have two favorite papers. One is that orange and yellow or orange and pink striped pattern paper, and then the other one is that floral paper, which I thought I would use, but I decided not to. I am going to use that striped paper to back the entire layout, and so I'm going to cut out the center because then I can use it more than once. And I am using a photo of my daughter. We decided to start a new back to school tradition where we take her out to dinner and make her talk to us all about her day. Sometimes she doesn't like talking a lot, and so this way we can corner her and make sure we get all the details of her new school class and stuff like that. So that is the plan. I cut that We Were Here 4x6 card from the cut apart sheet that comes in the kit, and I am going to use that for my journaling. And I kind of like the way that the photo can rest on the other side of it. The other side is blank so that you could put more journaling or a photo there, and I'm fine with this oversized photo hanging off the edge. I am going to use the Maggie Holmes gold stickers that came in the kit for my title, which is going to be a new back to school tradition. So I'm spelling out the word tradition here on some wax paper. And I like to use wax paper so I can move things around until I decide to commit on anything. And I think I'm looking for more letters that I can use for the rest of my title. I don't want to, I know what I'm doing. I decided to check to see if my Copic markers would change the color of this gold foil, and I didn't have the right colors to change it to what I wanted to, and I thought they looked fine gold. I thought they might look cute in pink or something like that, so I was going to try that, but it didn't end up working out, which is fine. I took these letter stickers that are from 7 Paper Company, which is by Studio Calico, that were in last month's kit or maybe the month before, to spell out the word new. And I'm going to use my favorite Teresa Collins little tile alphabet stickers for the rest of the title. And I didn't have any lowercase e's, so I used an uppercase E, and I'm totally fine with that. I kind of like the way the W rests right underneath where the top part of the E comes down, and then the N scoops down underneath the E, so it kind of all fits together. So here I've got those tile alphabet stickers going to spell the rest of my title. And at first I thought I would rest the first part of the title on top of the word tradition, but I'll end up changing it around a bit just as I move along through the layout. So that's why I like to use the wax paper, because I did end up changing my mind about how I wanted the title to lie on the pattern paper here. So I am switching it around right now, and I'm going to place it next to it instead so that it all fits underneath the photo and journaling card there. And I like the way that it just kind of creates that line. And I want to use that flare that says today. I'm going to end up putting it right where it is sitting right now. And I am cutting a piece of that floral paper and thought I might use it to kind of act as a shelf for my photo, but it just doesn't end up looking quite right. It's beautiful, and I will definitely use it on another layout, but not this one. So I'm looking for something that I can use. I just want something to kind of, just some sort of line to separate the paper. So I'm looking at the little branding strips on all of the layouts, and I like the way that this arrow one brings in the colors from the Here's the Scoop, which came from the cut apart sheet that comes in the kit, and it brings in all of those colors, so I'm going to end up using that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and get my paper stuck down to the background, and I'm using some score tape. This is the 1/4 inch score tape. I'll make sure to link to all of the products that did not come in the Felicity Jane kit below, as well as over on my blog. And I'm just peeling up the paper there, or the backing. That's the only thing I hate about score tape is peeling off the backing, but it's nice and strong adhesive. I really like it. I wish I would have done this after what I decide to do here in a second, and you'll see why. I just roughed up the edges a little bit with my fingers just to give it a little bit of dimension. And now I'm going to lay everything back out to see where I want to place things. So I decide that I need a little something more going on. So I pulled out some of my mists. This is Mr. Huey's in Taxi and in Piglet. And that pink dries actually to a nice light shade, which you can see on that little circle to the right there. And I just I sprayed it really close to the background and then let it drip down. I've done that a few times and I really like the way it looks. And when you use the pink and the yellow together, it creates an orange in the center of it, which you don't really see a lot of, but I liked the idea of bringing in the yellow. So it's going to take a while to dry, so I let it dry and then come back. You can see that the pink has lightened up quite a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and start getting things stuck down now. At least I think I'm going to stick things down. I'll stick down my photo at least. And that little pattern paper. I love that polka dot that's on the back of the cut apart sheet too. So I'm going to definitely use some of that on another layout. And when I placed that little arrow strip, I made sure that you could see just the tiniest little sliver of the color of the arrows below the photo. It's mostly covered up, but you can see just little hints of each color poking out. So I'm going to pop this up because my page warped quite a bit. This is why I wish I would have waited to glue that white piece down, but it's okay. And when I decided to place everything up on foam squares, I forgot that I wanted to rest part of my title along the bottom of it. So I'm going to place the top part of it on foam and then the bottom part will just be with adhered with regular adhesive so that it goes down just a little bit. And it's not very noticeable, but it helps to mask the fact that the entire layout is warped. And when it sits in your album, you can't really tell that it's warped. So it'll be fine. It's not too bad. It doesn't bother me. So I was trying to decide, those cut aparts are backed with sticker paper, and so I was trying to decide if I wanted to peel that up, but I might end up popping it up, so I decide to wait. And then after all of that work of peeling up those foam squares because I wanted to rest my title on top of the bottom of it, I decided to rest it right below, so it wouldn't have mattered if I left it, but that's okay. And I'm just going to get all that stuck down. I really like the way those letters kind of nest in together. And for the words back to school, I'm going to put the word school to the right of where that N dips down, and then the back to the left of it. And it overlaps the word tradition a little bit, which is fine with me. I kind of like the way that it just brings the words together. And I'm going to find some things for embellishment now. I found this little arrow I remembered I had, and I definitely want to use that. And there is another arrow on the cut apart sheet, which I'm going to use as well. I'm also going to use those little hearts that are in all of the colors, and I like bringing that element in because I've got the multicolored word scoop going on at the top. So this little arrow is going to end up at the top, and then I'll put this one at the bottom right. So there's a little bit of balance there with the arrows. They're slightly different color, but that's fine. They're both pink and it works. I'm going to use my favorite stencil ever of all time again, and I'm just putting some white modeling paste through it. It just gives a little bit of texture, and I like the idea of lines for a back to school kind of idea. It's just a really pretty line. I don't know. It looks cool. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to make sure I get everything cleaned off because that modeling paste gets pretty hard when it's dry, and I want to make sure that I don't ruin my stencil or my little spatula there. And just using a baby wipe to wipe that off. And now I am going to finish embellishing. It dries really fast, but because I decided to do that, I'm definitely going to adhere the little phrase that says here's the scoop with some foam dots, as well as those hearts. And I'm just going to adhere the arrow, both of the arrows. I think I'll do the other one in a second, and just get my journaling down. So I'm just talking about how, well, I'll just read it to you. This year we decided to start a new back to school tradition, dinner out, so we can corner Malia to tell us all about her day. Sometimes she doesn't like to be very chatty, but she was tonight. New teacher, new friends, new year. She's so excited. So just wanted to document the new tradition, and I'll try to take a photo every year when we take her out for dinner on the first day of school. I'm just going to adhere that flare with a little bit of score tape. It's very sturdy, so I like that it holds. And I'm going to place foam squares on the back of this little row of hearts. And the row of hearts will be centered below the title, and here's the scoop is centered above the journaling so that it kind of creates a vertical design. I've been doing these a lot lately where everything's kind of centered and going down vertically on the page. I really actually like that look. I went a little overboard on the foam squares there, but that's okay. And I'm going to add some of these sequins that are from the Crepe Paper Wonder collection. They came in the kit, and I want to make sure that I bring some more gold into the layout because the title is in gold. And I want to also bring in some stamping. The stamps are always super cute. And so I'm going to stamp chapter 4, which is what grade she's in this year, is 4th grade. And I'm just going to do it in black. This is my Close to My Heart archival black ink pad. I like it because it's nice dark black. And I'm also going to stamp this little heart that has the word this in it, and I'll do it in Close to My Heart smoothie ink, which I did on the last layout that I did with this kit as well. That the ink color just matches well with that bright pink when it dries. Most dye inks will stamp a little bit darker and a little bit splotchy, and then the paper, it dyes the paper, so that's why it's called a dye ink, and it soaks into the paper and dries out and smooths out, so it looks really nice when it's dry. I'm trying to decide if I want to add some tags to the left-hand side of my photo, and so I'm going to cut one out of the cut-apart sheet, I'm cutting off the top half, but I decide not to add these. Although it looks okay, so I think it would work if you had decided you wanted to do that. But I decide no. And I'm going to add a few more sequins next to the title just to balance out the sequins on the other side. And then I decide to outline the entire layout with my favorite black Muji pen, which I also used for the journaling. And I'm just going to outline it twice. And it's just really messy, and I go off the page on some parts, and I kind of just don't care. I think it's okay. With the drips from the mist, it just doesn't matter to me. So I'm just adding a few little random scribbly dots in. Sometimes I do this. I don't know why. It's just fun. So that is going to complete the layout. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and be sure to check out felicityjane.com for more information. I'll also have all of these still photos over on my blog, as well as links to all of the products. And be sure to check out my new class, Photo Triage Vacation Photos, on the Classes tab on my blog as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.